All right, my name is John Sanaya, and
I'm Helen Ongma Odeleye.
Yes.
Now, can you sing the national anthem? John, can you?
I think I can.
Can you sing the second stanza?
I think I should.
Okay, let's hear you now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Helen, don't throw me under the bus.
You said you can. We just talked about integrity.
Yes.
What you say you should be able to do.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Why are you keep putting me at test?
Wow.
Do you doubt? Okay,
let's indulge.
So
John.
I'm sure that a lot of us out there can sing the second stanza of the national anthem. Forget that Helen is trying to put me to test.
I'm trying to put the words two together. Maybe
Yes.
I can beat you to it. But do I have that confidence?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay. So we'll move on. We'll leave it to the audience too.
Okay. Okay. So the number of passports that are issued by the Nigerian Immigration Service rose by 38% between 2020 and 2021, John.
Yeah.
And this is according to the Punch, and it is no other reason than the fact that a lot of Nigerians are relocating. They are jackpying. You know, the Andrews are just going left, right, and center. But what are the realities of relocating? Joining us today is Oluwatoyin Oshinaike, who is a seasoned HR, that's human relations professional. Resource professional, thank you, John, with a career spanning over 18 years that cuts across the finance and the human resource functions within the oil and gas, transportation, fabrication, heavy equipment, and power generation industries, and so much more, John.
Yeah, thanks. And of course, many Nigerian professionals with high-paying jobs are poised to swell the ranks of those who have left the country in search of safety. But there are many realities of settling in a new country.
Wow.
Well, we're going to ask our guest.
Yeah.
Toyin, can you share with us your experience?
First of all, Toyin,
First,
hello.
you know.
And thank you for joining the show.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you
And-
share with us your experience, and why did you relocate in the first place?
Okay. When people ask me this, I think it's better to also share my story a bit so that we can get some history and then put it in perspective and be able to understand why, just like you said, some of us that are considered to be professionals and well paid are actually relocating. Okay, in 2003. I had just started working for about 3 years, 2003, 2004. I just started working for about 3 years then. And, around that time too, there were quite a couple of people, young people that were relocating. I think that was when the UK had the HSMP program, highly skilled, I think, migrant program, they called it. So I had the opportunity. I wasn't interested, really. I wasn't. In fact, when people mentioned it, what I said was, I don't think I'm ready to go to another country to start all over again. I'm okay with Nigeria. I don't mind going visiting and coming back. And I remember that they talked me into it. I eventually started the process. I'd even sent quite a huge amount of money back then to a lawyer in the UK to start the process for me. Because when they looked at my profile, they said, yes, it would be very easy to process it for me. So I started the process. But when something is just not what you feel is the right thing for you at that time, I just called them back. I said, please return my pounds. I don't think I'm interested. I'm not interested in this. This is not what is on my plan for myself at this point in time. So my money was returned back to me, and I just, shelved the idea of relocating. Said, I'm good where I am, I'm fine.
So
and
what was the push?
started,
what was the push? What was it that got you there eventually?
Eventually, coming to years down the line, when you start having children, then things get worse within the country, and then everything gets to me. That's when I knew it was, when you see something, you're like, oh God, what's happening again? Oh God. And I knew that I needed to take a break and leave. I knew I needed to. We tried the process, just like I said. Yes, this was I started thinking about it again 2018. That was about 15 years down the line. You can imagine. I started thinking about it again. And then I was just like, I think it's better I leave. But it didn't come through at that time as well, because I just left last year.
Okay.
It didn't come through at that time. Then last year, my husband was like, he would like to do a master's program and he wanted to do it in the UK. UK was not, I didn't even think about the UK when we started considering it again. So he said he wanted to, and I said, okay, if you want to, then I think I'm tired. Let's leave. He said no, that he would do it just a year, then come back. I said, no, we're all living together. At this point in time, I think I need my mental health needs a break. Okay. So please let's leave Nigeria at this point in time. So that's why I left.
Okay.
My own story.
Okay. So many factors.
Yes.
So many factors.
I even want to ask, because so many of us are so focused on leaving that we forget about the little things that may come with it. Now, could you educate us? Did you have to learn any new skills in the UK, like when you arrived?
I'll say yes and no. And why did I say that? I've been working since early this year. And what I'm doing is along the HR profession with in another setting, but still HR. But what I also started doing was when I got here, I discovered that the digital skills were quite in demand. And there was an opportunity to do business analysis. And I am already a certified project manager. I've been certified 10 years ago. And I put that to use when working and doing projects in HR. So I just thought to myself, being a business analyst, it's not a bad idea, considering that I'm already certified as a project manager, and then the things I do as well are along that line. So that's how I started. Right now, I'm doing a training. I've finished the training about a month ago, and now we're working on a project as a business analyst.
Yes. All right, we're celebrating the anniversary of Nigeria at 62, and right up to this moment, there are several young people, women at whatever age, who still think that getting out of Nigeria is the ultimate for them. Now, when you got there, kindly let us know what the culture shocks that you found and how did you adjust to them?
Okay. For me, it wasn't much of a culture shock because I travel a lot, and then I worked in multinational. Twice I've worked in a multinational company. So the culture shock wasn't much for me. But from experiences, people that I've seen, one is the popular one we all say you always have that experience of missing a bus stop. Because you're not used to, there's no conductor shouting Oyinbo or Balinde or something.
Wow.
So that is the first, that is very common. There's hardly anybody that hasn't experienced. So you miss your bus stop. Then the walking. There's no Okada. You can't call Okada and Okada comes. There's no Okada. That's one. Then as well, so we are Nigerians, naturally Africans, we're family, set of family people. We are people that, bond with your neighbors. This person knows what's going on in the other person's. But can my children stay with you? Or what's happening? That you can't do that here.
Okay.
Except even if you have another Nigerian here, that person is struggling, justing maybe 2 jobs or something. So that you feel that camaraderie, that bond that usually Nigerians have. That is one thing as well for a lot of people, and especially for those that come as singles. That might be a challenge, because for those that have families, to have your family, the bonding, the children and all that. Yeah. Then also as well, that experience of, drop your children somewhere and then go, no, or leave the children in the house and go out. You dare not try that. So those are the things that a lot of Nigerians come here and they find it, shocking. Then another thing as well, I say more like a joke, here, a lot of them, are into pets. And so you have the dogs, you have the cats and all that. And then our Nigerian setting where you see a cat, a black cat especially in the night, and you start shouting, you start praying, fire, fire, fire. I tell my husband that a lot of Nigerians, when they get here, they will pray fire, 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 before they get used to the fact that these are cats, that they are just pets to a lot of people here. So that's another shock as well. Yes. Because UK, and we have a lot of Nigerians in UK, the food, you can still get the food. It might come at a price, but I still get to buy a lot of foodstuffs in Nigeria that I get in Nigeria, more at a price, really. but I get to buy that and then we eat Nigerian
They
food.
say that
But not
London is almost an extension of Nigeria.
of Nigeria.
Exactly.
But you can't get the agbado, the corn,
Wow.
you
Fresh.
can't
Okay.
get by the roadside, you can't get the bolly. Bah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it.
Now, around here, the issue of racism is almost non-existent, But we know that out there, especially in Western world, racism ignites like, hey, it's so highly inflammable.
You stare at
You
it
know,
in your face almost on a daily
yeah,
basis.
it's a reality. Have you experienced it?
Interestingly, I haven't experienced it. When I read that and people say that, I'm like, I haven't experienced it.
Okay.
I haven't. And probably, I don't know, maybe I might not be the right person, probably because the purpose of the experience is here in UK, really, but I haven't. And the interesting thing is, I'm not even in London. I'm on one of the outskirts in the Midlands, West Midlands here in UK. And I haven't experienced it. And I've been to London a couple of times as well. I haven't experienced it.
Okay, the thing about jackpine, or just getting out there, like I said earlier on, for a lot of people is to live a better life. The greener pasture, the grass is greener at the other side. I don't know if you believe that is, and if you do or you do not, what would be your advice to anyone at this point in time who is just on that verge of jackpine? What would you say to that person?
Okay, just to take a cue from what you said, I usually tell people the grass is not always green on the other side. And even if it is, somebody somewhere is doing something to make it green. So some efforts have been put in, or at times it might even be a screensaver. That when you get there, it just disappears and the reality hits you in the face. For those that want to jackpot, the first thing is, you see, when I tell people when there's a will, there's a way. If you're sure that's what is right for you at this point in time, you would discover that whatever it takes, you would make sure it happens because you are convinced without any doubt that this is the next thing at this point in time for you. Having said that, we also have to be realistic as well. You get to, you're going to another country, it's a new life. It's starting all over again. I think that's the reality that a lot of people forget, especially for those of us that are, advanced in age and advanced career-wise, advanced, generally. So you're starting afresh. You're starting
So that
afresh.
mindset
Everything.
is important. That mind
It
shift
is very
is
important. Ellen, it is I can't overemphasize it. It is very important. You're starting all over again.
It has
And
to.
then you also have to be aware that if you have family as well, your children, you need to prepare them. We were lucky, our children were so excited about it. But some people find it hard to. And then also as well, some people get it here. And, the reality is that I'm not being chauffeur driven anymore.
Yeah.
The salary is not hitting my account every month. I need to go out there and put in some effort. And because you're new on ground, you might not be able to get the job at the level you were at in Nigeria before leaving. That's another reality people have to face.
Okay.
You might need to work shifts. You might need to do. I was lucky I didn't have to do that, but you might need to do that. Okay. So it's better to prepare yourself. Then also as well, very key. I always tell people when they call me, have enough funds.
And you see, in all of this, Nigerian companies are the worst hit because, I'm not happy that someone like you has had to leave us here with all of your talents, all your brain and all of that, and work in the UK. And there are so many others like you, especially medical doctors, nurses, name them engineers, lawyers. Everybody is leaving. It's like a deluge out there. So what should Nigerian companies do as so many of them are losing talent? I don't know if you're the right person to ask.
No, it's a valid question, because I am the right person to ask. But before I also decided to leave, I was head of HR, so we're faced with it as well.
Great.
In fact, you get some people, they will say they went on leave, and the next thing you get is a resignation letter from there. So you're running helter-skelter, to get to fill their roles. Well, yes, you're right. The companies are quite, one of the people that have been, or the establishments that have been hit the most. But what I would advise is this, which is what we usually say, train your people. Train them very well in such a way that they will not want to leave. Treat them well, that they will be good ambassadors for you. So even if they decide to leave tomorrow and they're working somewhere, and people are asking them, oh, I heard that you worked in a certain place. They're calling me, they're trying to interview me. Be able to say, please go for it. It's a good place.
Okay.
And then if they decide to stay with you and not japa, you have good hands to hold the system while you get a replacement.
Okay.
That is key for every organization.
Great.
Okay, as we get ready to say thank you so much for your time, I'd like to know, do you miss, in quote, home? Do you miss home? Do you miss Nigeria?
Oh, definitely I do, especially because my parents, both of them are still there. So I miss home. I miss home. I miss my siblings. Some of my siblings are there.
And you have us here too.
All right. So please do celebrate the green, white, green today. All right. Let
I will. Today's my daughter's birthday.
Shout out to your daughter. Wow, 1st of October. Oh, that's good to know.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, and our love to the family.
Thank you for having me.
So and we are still here. We are still here back at home. We have not jackpot.
And you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will allow you get back to your Saturday morning now.
Exactly.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay. All right. And so we'll take another break, and we will be right back. Please don't go away. This is Today with John and Helen on Plus TV Africa.